Are we on? Okay. Hi, Kelly. Yes. Okay. I'd like to welcome everybody to a special meeting of the City Commission of Fort Scott tonight. We're going to be discussing a few things. We're going to have consideration of colors on 8 North National and consideration of letters of interest for the Open City Commission meeting. So we'll start off by doing the flag salute.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, so the first thing we'll cover here is the number one under consideration. It's consideration certificate of appropriateness for colors at 8 North National Avenue. Kelly, will you take that?
They had picked out the colors for the building over there, and our design review. But yeah, I was going to say that our national state committee has approved it. SHPO, yes, thank you. But anyway, SHPO's approved of it, and they did do a little testing on it to see what it kind of looked like on the front, and it did look nice, and they did a little bit. But the colors are on the at the second page of your book leaflet there, and what they want to do to kind of make it look very ornate. And then it is a very ornate building front, so it's going to make it look very nice. So
I'll make the motion to approve the colors, the painting of the front of the structure.
Second.
that's the
Josh
Hammond building.
Jones,
Yes.
Tim Van Hookey,
Yes.
Matthew Wells,
Yes.
Kevin Allen.
Yes.
Now they're going to paint the north wall all in one color. Is that what this says?
Let's I painted in front of the
That'd have been a good question to ask before we approved it.
I was trying to rusty.
Sorry.
You always do things backwards.
I believe according to Kate, those colors were approved by SHPO, but
Okay.
they're painting on the north and south sides. Those were the ones that were approved by SHPO.
Okay.
Well, it says they're going to keep the same color scheme, so I think that most of it is that they're used kind of like the pictures they sent you. They have different colors on the back sets and the raised parts.
Okay, so they're not just going to paint the whole side of the building black.
No, not as far as I understand. I don't believe so.
And they're driving back from the city right now, or they would have been here.
Okay, any other questions? With none, we'll move to the consideration of letters of interest for open city commission seat. We don't have, we're just going to go in any order, am I right?
Up to you,
So,
Mayor.
okay, so I get to choose. That's what I do. Okay, so the list of people, Diane, I'm seeing, is there a broke down list of candidates here, or are they all in our packet?
They're in front of you. All their letters of interest are in front of you.
Okay. We'll start off with John Kuhn. Is he here?
He is not. It doesn't look like.
Okay. We'll then go to Shane Walker. You're up. Oh, you need a mic. Go ahead and sit there.
Well,
I think, Mr. Mayor, I think Diane was going to let him sit there at the end for the questions, if that's all right with you.
Oh, did that work? There you go. Okay, so we have some questions here. Would you like me to ask you the questions and then have you seen a list of these questions? Okay. In 1988, no, I'm just kidding. Why do you want to be on the Fort Scott City Commission?
Plain and simple, we'll make it a place where my kids will go to college, come back here and be able to work and live.
can you talk into your microphone? Thank you.
Yeah.
They won't be able to hear you if not.
Yeah, go ahead and say that again if you would, Shane.
Just to make this a place where my kids will go to college, come back here and work and live.
How well do you feel like you can handle complaints?
complain, you need to listen and get all the facts before you make a fair and equal decision.
What do you understand the responsibilities of a city commission member are?
There to set policy and procedure and budgets for the city.
Anytime you guys have anything you want to elaborate on, feel free to jump in too. What has been your experience in city government or any other form of government?
I've worked in local government for almost 2 decades now and been involved at the state level as a member of the Homeland Security Council for Kansas for over 8 years.
What would you like to see for the future of Fort Scott?
I'd like to see the city develop a strategic plan that we can put together more affordable housing, better housing, more jobs, and a stronger workforce for those jobs.
And how do you see yourself being an asset to the future of Fort Scott?
With my government experience, also worked in the corporate world and ran my own business, got a pretty wide skill set that I think would complement the members that are currently on the board.
Okay, awesome. And now just go ahead and freely, if you have any more questions for him, if you guys do, or
No, I just say if any of you, I mean, anyone that comes over to speak, if you have anything else you want to say
Yeah.
besides the questions, I mean,
Absolutely.
just tell us something now, whatever. We're open ears. We're looking for somebody to fill Pete's seat, and just tell us
I
whatever you want
just
to say.
feel there's a lot of value in this community, or I wouldn't have moved back here to bring my family here. There's a lot we need to do. There's a lot of challenges we need to do. I think we got the right people to do it. I think I can bridge between everybody. I know everybody. I think we can all work together.
Very cool. Okay, I think that if no other questions. Thank you. We'll move to the next. Okay, and I'm gonna lose
Thank
my
you,
paper
Shane.
here. Okay. Next is going to be Margaret Cummings.
Good evening.
Good evening. I'll ask you the same set of questions, I guess. I feel like a moderator. So I always hated going first in Shane's spot because now everybody's had a chance to get answers. Why do you want to be on the Fort Scott City Commission?
Well, since COVID, I've been at home and watched the city commission's progress in the last couple of years. And I think that the city of Fort Scott is big business, and I don't know that it is being ran as big business, and that concerns me. I also am a longtime resident here. I've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly with the Western and Midwestern and some of those places going out, and saw how that has affected our economy and the people that live here. And I think that there are things that can be done to improve the living quality in Fort Scott, Kansas.
How do you feel like you handle complaints?
Well, Shane was right. You have to listen, and you have to listen real hard sometimes. But I will tell you that my experience in working for Sears and Roebuck for 15 years, that Sears policy was you take anything back. Doesn't make any difference if it's been worn or if it's broken. You take everything back. That teaches you a lot about how to deal with complaints. Plus, we've had our own business for a number of years. And I've also worked in corporate, and complaints are just something you have to have the skill set to handle, and I feel I have that.
Okay. What do you understand the responsibilities of a city commission member are?
To guide the city in making the right decisions to make it a good place to live. I don't think there's ever been a strategic plan. Shane was also right about that. The county, I know at one time, did a strategic plan. This is a business. Businesses run on 3-year, 4-year, 5-year plans, and I have not seen that out of this commission, and I think it is a business type operation, and that's the way it should be ran, as a business.
What has been your experience in city government or any other form of government?
None.
Well, that was simple
Certainly was.
and honest. What would you like to see for the future of Fort Scott?
I'd like to see a responsible, reactive government, I'd like to see a proactive government, not a reactive government, and that's, I think, what we have right now. I think with a proactive government and setting some goals to make the community more livable, more affordable, clean it up a little bit, probably a lot of it, but they're just those kinds of things that make the community a whole that need to be done.
How do you see yourself being an asset to the future of Fort Scott?
Well, I bring some experience to dealing with people, listening to people, making the best, or trying to make at least the very best answers possible for people with problems. And I think we do have a problem here. And I think that the bunch of people, the gentlemen that are sitting around this table now, are doing a really good job. I like what I've seen in the last year or so, watching you on television with your comments and how you address things. And I may be able to bring a different perspective to it because of my experience.
That's a good answer. Tim, do you have anything?
I don't.
Josh?
Extra you want to add?
Yes.
No. One of the questions.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I'm a longtime resident here. My husband was born here. We're both of our families come from Bourbon County in different areas of Bourbon County. Like I said before, I've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly in the years that we've been back here in Fort Scott. This is my home. I have a son that lives here. I would like for him to be able to, he'll be bringing a new business to Fort Scott April the 1st. I would like to see him to be able to make a success of that in Fort Scott, as well as provide a great living experience for him and his family.
Matthew, do you have anything?
What would be one idea that you would like to see take place?
I really think that as a business, you've got to have some kind of a plan, a 5-year plan, 3-year plan, whatever you decide. Plans are only plans. You know, nothing's written in stone, but you have to start somewhere. And you can adjust that as you go along. But I think that should be the first step that you really think about doing, is coming up with either a strategic plan or just a plain work plan for you as a commission into what you hope to achieve and then how you plan to achieve it.
Very good. With nothing else, we appreciate you coming in to speak.
All right, thank you.
You so much.
Thank you.
Up next, Nicholas Philpott. He's not here. Okay. Up next, Brad Duval. And I think the last one, am I right, is
Two more.
I'm missing one.
Chuck Gulia.
Chuck Pagolia and Bill Britton.
Chuck Bagulia.
Are we pronouncing that right? Pagolia?
I don't get that one, Diane.
It was the very first one.
Yeah, very first one.
That's it. Got it. Thought they shorted me your paper.
Never.
Never.
That you put on top.
Yeah. Thought that was my scrap paper. Okay. That's right. Why do you want to be on the Fort Scott City Commission?
Well, simply, I've gotten food from the Beacon. I've gotten Christmas presents from the Community Christian Church. This community has helped me out in lots of ways, and I figure, why not give back? What better way? It's a great community. You guys already all know that. I love living here.
How well do you feel like you handle complaints?
pretty well. I'm pretty good at handling complaints. Aside from listening and things, you gotta take everything into consideration, not just jump to conclusions. Assume innocence.
Right. What do you understand the responsibilities of a city commission member are?
To help make decisions on how this county runs.
What has been your experience in city government or any other form of government?
Does paying taxes count? I'm just kidding.
That's taking part.
I have absolutely none, honestly.
Right. What would you like to see for the future of Fort Scott?
I would like to see more of these small businesses that open up stay here. I'd like to see more support for them. We've had that grocery store close, and we've had a few other closed down, and just maybe a little more help for them. Something more for education for these kids to do after school, things like that. I mean, we had the keyhole and stuff, but I see some other programs in place.
Okay. How do you see yourself being an asset to the future of Fort Scott?
I'm manageable. I don't mind getting my hands dirty, so to speak. Volunteering with things, clean up, whatever. Just pretty persuasive at times. Good moderator between things.
Right. Okay. So again, I'll ask Tim, do you have anything for him?
Yeah, I appreciate you coming in and your honesty and candor, and grateful for everybody that loves living in Fort Scott. From your perspective, with your experiences, like you were very open with about having to go to the Beacon and things like that, some of the help you've received. I'd be curious to know, just in your opinion, what other type of assets or resources do people that are in that situation need improved upon?
I'm going to reiterate on Shane's point. Better housing for sure. Just a chance to be able to make it, to have families, stay here, give them a chance to stay here, but they don't have to move to big cities for things. Keep the money here in town where we need it for roads and structures and things. There's so many buildings here that are empty that we could just give people a chance,
Josh?
Thank you.
Same as before. Is there anything else besides any questions that you want to speak upon?
No, nothing else. Just you guys already know how great of a community this is. I just feel like I could bring some stuff to the table.
Mine would be the same one. Do you have any ideas that you would like to see come to fruition?
Just like I said, just some more help for these small businesses, so we can keep them here, so they're not moving out to big cities or having to close down their shop because they can't afford it or things like that. Just help them, small, help the people. We got the Beacon and stuff. We got the Christmas programs. Maybe another food pantry or something.
Have you lived in Fort Scott forever?
I've been here about 10 years.
10 years?
Yes.
Okay, with nothing else, thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank you, Chuck.
Thank you.
And now, if I'm right, last one's Bill Britton. Hello. Why do you want to be on the Fort Scott City Commission? And yours is a little different. Why would you ask for this again?
Well, because of my experience, I just felt like it would be a time for me to give back and lend back my experiences to fulfill this unexpired term of Commissioner Pete Allen.
How well do you feel like you handle complaints?
Well, since I was in the government for 16 years, I think I handle them okay.
What do you understand the responsibilities of a city commission member are?
Well, city commissioner is one of a 5-person team that sets the direction of the city, sets policy for the city, and helps guide the city manager and provide the tools city manager needs so that he can do his job.
What has been your experience in city government or any other form of government?
Well, again, I served around 12 years as a city commissioner in the 90s and early 2000s, and then 4 years as a county commissioner.
What would you like to see for the future of Fort Scott?
Obviously, like most, probably growth. I think economic development's been something that has always been a pet project of mine and something I like to work on. And I do believe that there's two things with economic development. One is creating jobs, and it's the chicken and egg. Where do we get the employees? So you have to try to create the kind of jobs that will move people here.
How do you see yourself being?
Speak directly into the mic. The people at home are not able to hear.
Okay, we got to start
That's
back
okay.
over.
Thank you.
A little quicker, Matthew.
Sorry. Just-
Okay, how do you see yourself being an asset to the future of Fort Scott?
Well, again, with my experience, I think that I can lend my experiences to be part of this team and help the commission achieve the city's goals.
Okay, Tim?
Yeah, and Bill, thank you so much for putting your letter of interest in. That you are in kind of a unique position because you've been in these seats before. So I guess the question I would ask you, based on that experience, and kind of the situation we're in now concerning like the roads and everything else out there, what do you think you've learned that you could bring back to us? You know, that over the years, kind of the state that we're in now, that maybe wasn't taken care of previously.
Well, absolutely. And it's I guess a philosophy of management, and I'm not sure what the new city manager's philosophy is. I'd love to chat with him on that. But back in the 90s, we had a street department that probably had 30 employees on it. It had a director that was capable of doing things like we did Wall Street, 54 Highway. We put a project together, and the state paid us to do it. I think if you can bring as much of that back in-house as you can, if you have the proper people, you can get a lot more done. Now, there's some things you have to go outside for. There's no doubt.
Great, thank you.
Josh, you want to ask your standard question again?
Since you've been here previously, what is something that you've done in the past that was positive you think that needs to be done again, and what is like a mistake something that wasn't done before that you think you
This is about me.
I
knew it was
just
coming
having
back.
previous experience, what from before, I mean, what do you see different that was done before, if anything, than what's being done now?
And again, things do change, and cities and communities evolve. We're not the same place we were when I first ran in 1993. There's no doubt about it, because of what someone mentioned earlier, some of the businesses we've lost and so forth. And I guess a mistake would be maybe, and it was nobody's mistake necessarily, but we didn't replace the loss of the people that some of these businesses like American States employed. If we could have replaced them with the same type of jobs, we would have been able to hang on to a lot of those people. We lost a lot of really good citizens that were citizens that had expendable income, and they were citizens that worked in the community with other organizations and gave back. As far as projects we've achieved, like I said, one of the things was we put a plan together to do Wall Street. We didn't have an asphalt plan. So Wall Street came up, and it was going to be a match. I think you've got to give, and the state was going to send it out for contract. So we came up with a plan and presented it to the state and convinced them we were capable of doing that. And again, we had a public works director that was capable of doing that at the time. And he ran it very smoothly. And what we did is we went out and bought a used asphalt plant to do it. And it got paid for with what the state paid us. So there's some things like that I think you can do that allow you to get things moving forward like that without costing extra money.
Matthew?
What was your favorite thing about being a commissioner?
Seeing the accomplishments, I think it's a good feeling if you can look back and say, hey, we accomplished some things and we did some things together. And again, it takes a team. It really does. And again, I believe I have something to lend to be part of that team for the next year and a half or whatever's left on this term to help you all achieve what you're trying to do.
Would you treat me as bad as you did last time if you were a commissioner?
Probably worse.
We're all one to know. Okay, I don't have any questions. Bill, thank you for coming in.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you. Okay, now here comes the part where we got to figure out how we're going to do this. And I just spoke to Bob before the meeting and asked how the voting goes. And last time we did, it was an outright vote, and it went around the table. And and Tim, you might have something to say on this part because we did something kind of different last time when I don't know, we had another thing and you had a different way to do it. But anyway,
Well, I think what's nice, Mr. Mayor, is the last one we had was, we actually kind of reviewed the letters of intent for one of the board commissions, one of the I think it was the land bank, and we had an opportunity, since those folks weren't here, to actually review or propose based on off of what their qualifications were. This time, we've got a chance to meet most of the candidates. We've had time to review their letters of intent and ask our questions. So I'd like it to be an open vote, and not a secret ballot or anything. And I think we just, if someone wants to make a motion on somebody and kind of validate why they feel that way, we should go from there. That's just my opinion, though.
yeah, and that's my thing is you got as you vote in an election, you go into a booth. It's all hidden. It's all secret. You color your dot. You can come out and say whatever you want. Nobody gets into a big squabble. Why you didn't vote for me? Why did you vote for this person? That's the part I hate about it. Typically I don't mind stating my opinion, but it's tough whenever you get.
It is tough, especially since so many people in the town. I mean, I think I know most of the people there as well. But the thing I'd like to say before we move forward at all is, first and foremost, and I'm sure everybody here agrees, is the gratitude that we have that every single one of these folks, whether
Sure.
they came in or not, stepped up, showed an interest, take the time to write the letter of interest and show up here tonight and sit in the hot seat, if you want to call it the hot seat, and
Sure.
answer the questions. And I don't doubt that there's any person that's sitting there, would not be a good choice for the commission. And I think that the most encouraging thing to me was, as quickly as this happened, and unfortunately, Commissioner Pete Allen decided to leave us, but the number of citizens that stepped up and said, hey, I think I can make a difference, and I'm going to throw my hat in the ring.
Right. With that being said, I'm taking it that you guys want to. Do you want to call for a vote? I'm leaving it up to you guys, or do you want to make a motion in a second?
I motion that we make a vote for Shane Walker to fill the position on this commission.
I'd second.
Why is everybody looking at me?
I think we're just waiting on Diane.
Sorry. Josh Jones.
I just want to reiterate before I vote that Tim says, I was in this position 14 months ago, and so everyone that applied, appreciate. It is tough being a small town. We know everyone. We have time to review everything. That's what people don't realize. We're here and they think we just vote, but we've had time to review, and I've been asking questions. Most of them are still asking questions about it. So with that, I would vote yes for Shane.
Tim Van Hookey.
Yes.
Matthew Wells.
Yes.
Kevin Allen.
Yes, and like I want to reiterate what Josh said. I do appreciate everybody coming in, stepping up. Meeting people like even you, Chuck. It floors me how people come out and say they want to take part in this. You probably should watch the meetings and make sure you want to take part. It's tough up here sometimes, but so.
I'd just like to encourage each and every one of you, Chuck, the others who wrote letters. This doesn't mean we don't want your help. This means we desperately want your help. Come to the meetings, help out in any way you can. This town
Absolutely.
will only get better because of people like you and others who are willing to step up and do what needs to be done to make this town a better place. So I appreciate each and every one of you who's come out here today. And those of you that couldn't make it but still wrote the letters, I'd like to thank you all, because that shows that the people of this town care about this community and want to try to make this a better place for everyone to live.
And I would encourage you as well. I mean, there's going to be 5 of us up here now. People call me. They've got ideas. It doesn't have to be just for problems. If you got an idea or you see something, reach
Call
out.
Tim.
Yeah, call me. There, I'll take it. Call me, and I'm happy to listen to anybody and work on anything that's going on, because it's not everybody up here knows the answer to everything, and sometimes fresh set of ideas that are out there is a great way to help move us forward more. But again, this was not on my part a decision that was taken lightly. I kind of did my homework, and the questions were good, and I can't thank everyone up again for coming out and throwing their hat in the ring.
And one final note is there is an election in a year and a half, something like that. So definitely consider putting your name in that, going out and beating the streets.
Yeah, who was on the ballot for that next time?
I'm up. For sure. I ain't kidding. Can we do it early? Okay, so I guess that meeting adjourned.
Motion to adjourn.
Yep.
I'll second.
Josh Jones?
Yes.
Tim Van Hickey?
Yes.
Matthew Wells?
Yes.
Kevin Allen?
Yes.